Hello. Hi there. If you can hear me, if the sound is okay, let me know if you guys can hear. Let me mute myself here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do today an overview of my camera gear. Um, a lot of people ask me like what camera gear I use to photograph or what camera I use to record my videos. So yeah, I'm gonna show you all that I use to do photography and also to do the YouTube videos. Send me any questions in the chat. Yeah, I can answer. And if you also want to talk about anything else, we can also talk about anything else, like photography in general or my last video. Like a lot of people asking me about my last video, my last horizontal video had a lot of views, like more than I am used to have. So there are a lot of people talking about that. If you want to talk about that, I'm also open to it. My mom is in the chat. Who else is here? Oh, Benzo brought you here. Thank you. Yeah, Benzo's super kind. Hope you enjoy my content. Okay, if someone else wants to say hi in the chat before I start talking about camera gear. Hi, Hugo. Thanks for coming again. Boa noite. For me, here is not like nighttime. It's still afternoon. I'm here like 4:30 p.m. Okay, so let's start. Um, so I'll start talking about my camera. The main camera I use is the Sony A7C II, is this one. And I'm shooting with this camera for almost 2 years now. And I really like this camera mainly because it's like very compact and very lightweight. And this was one of the main things that made me switch from Canon to Sony, to this Sony specifically. And the Canon one was big and very heavy. And I have like very small hands. So for me, it was like super big camera and super heavy to carry with all the lenses. And also, Canon lenses are way heavier than the Sony lenses. And so for me, it was like a uh, improvement to have a lighter equipment to carry around. Um, so yeah, and also the reason I switched to this camera because I wanted to shoot more videos, and my Canon, I had a Canon R, and the Canon R doesn't have in-body stabilization. So the videos were not very good. Like I had to shoot only on a tripod. And if you guys photograph and shoot videos, it's not possible to only do it with a tripod. So it's better if you have stabilization in the sensor, so you can give you better images, right? Not like shaky images. Um, Hugo said, "My dream is some small Fujifilm." Yes, Fujifilm is also, yeah, very good camera. I just didn't go for the Fuji because it's not full frame, right? And because I like to shoot night photography, Astra, I thought full frame would be better for that. But if you don't shoot Astra, Fujifilm, yeah, it's perfect. And also the lenses, Fujifilm lenses are very light. So yeah, it would be a great option. So coming back to the A7C II. So the A7C II is an improvement of the A7C. I have the A7C as well. We had this A7C for like a second camera because usually we were doing time lapses and we want to shoot some B-roll at the same time, and we didn't have like an extra camera, so we got the A7C for that purpose. But the A7C, I think it lacks some things that I think they improved in the Mark II. Mainly like more buttons. So it has more buttons here, so it's better. So I have separated like the aperture, the shutter speed, and the ISO in each button. And the A7C didn't have much buttons to customize this. So it was a little bit annoying. And it was smaller, and I think it's too small. The grip of the A7C exhaust is actually kind of weird, so I don't feel like very confident holding it like I feel in the A7C II. Um, and so far I have been very happy with the A7C II. It's like uh, it's a killer camera. It records like videos in 4:2 10-bit. Um, so you have like lots of space to work on colors. So it's like the same thing for photos, like a raw photo. It gives like a slug file with a lot of data to work like on colors. And and it's basically the same of the A7 IV. So my husband has an A7 IV. So some my videos also have some images of the A7 IV, but they are pretty much the same, like very few differences. And for the lens, the I think the lens I use the most is this one, is the 1635, as the Sony as well. Is the Mark II. And the Mark II is actually way lighter than the Mark One, the 1635, the Sony 1635. And yeah, I really like that because the Canon, I had a Canon like the RF 1535, and it was an excellent lens. Like I love it, that lens, but it was like super heavy as well. Um, but this one is super light and is also a very high quality lens. And super versatile. I shoot landscapes mainly, and landscape photographers always love to have a wide angle lens. So 1635, I think, is the minimum lens that landscape photographers like to have. And for videos is also very good. Like if I wanna like shoot myself and I am holding the camera, it's very good. It has like the range here, the focal length range. It's perfect to record myself. And yeah, I don't have any complaints about this lens. But I wanna go to the more like, let's say, exotic lenses. And just a second, I have a question in the chat. Um, you use this lens for your last video. Yes, there's lots of scenes that I recorded with this lens. Um, so let's go for the exotic ones. Uh, do you guys want to start with the anamorphic or with the Helios? Mm. Tell me in the chat. What do you guys prefer? Also, Jean Victor is asking me if I would buy a Canon R5 at this point. No, because it's too big and actually is way more expensive than the A7C II. So at that time, I don't know, Canon released a lot of new cameras, I think last year, and I didn't follow to see like which kind of camera they have, but maybe they have one that it's like very similar to this Sony. But at the time when I switched, if I want to have all of the features I needed, I had to buy the R5. But the price was like way more expensive than the A7C II, so I didn't see the point. So I wouldn't update to an R5 unless Canon wants to sponsor me. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So going back to the lenses, I so I shot a lot of the scenes. I tried to shoot like the most scenes with this lens, which is the anamorphic lens. It's a very basic like anamorphic lens. Is from this brand, Serray. I think that's how it's pronounced. Like I don't know if you guys can see it well here. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the 35 millimeters 1.8 anamorphic, and the squeeze factor is 1.33. So the anamorphic lens is like very nice because you can squeeze a wide field of view into like the standard sensor. So you can capture like way more like of your scene with like the sensor you have. And I think it looks different because cinema lenses they are like a lot of them are anamorphic, and I think our eyes are used to see that look. So when you look something that was shot with that anamorphic lens, you feel like, oh, it's like kind of cinematic. And it also has that very cool flare, that horizontal flare. And this lens gives the blue flare that which I love that flare. But there are some other lenses that have like other color, like golden flare, which is also very beautiful. And also to recognize like when it was shot with an anamorphic, you can pay attention to the bokeh. So the bokeh of anamorphic is different from the spherical lens because it's kind of like how would I define? It's not like round, it's more elongated like this. And yeah, I think it's also very, very nice that bokeh. And I also after I found out about the anamorphic lenses, I also like to spot when I'm watching something like a video or a movie. I like to spot like, this is an anamorphic lens. That's super nice. Let's see in the chat. Mm, so Ricky saying love some camera gear. Yeah, right. Everybody loves like camera gear. And Hugo said Tarantino movies. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I shot like a lot of the scenes with the anamorphic. If you guys watched my last video, the scene in the subway station, the train station, was shot with this lens. Also, the scenes where I am in downtown and like there are a lot of buildings around me was shot with this lens. And I love those scenes. And the light was so beautiful, and I think like this lens did a perfect job. Um, yeah, I think that's it about the anamorphic. Uh, let me take this off and maybe show you if you guys never saw like this lens looks like this. You can kind of see like the blue tint, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry guys. I wanted to show like the images too. If you guys like don't know much about those lenses, I want to show like the how the images looks, how the bokeh looks. But I'm streaming from my cell phone, and to show like a screen, I would have to have the streaming through an encoder, like the OBS. And I tried to use the OBS today, but I didn't like much because of the quality. Like when I was showing like my screen on the computer, the quality was not very good. So what's the point? Like I was worried that people would not be able to see what I was showing. So I figure like I just do the cell phone and maybe just like talk like in general about the lenses. So I apologize for that, for not showing you guys like the bokeh and the flare, how it looks. Uh, Hello, Bruno. Bruno is asking, did you shot any scene with the cell phone and the Freewell's anamorphic lens? No. Freewell anamorphic lens? I don't have a Freewell anamorphic lens. I have, actually, Diego has a cell phone anamorphic lens. It's from Moment. And it's a pretty fun lens actually. If you guys don't want to spend a lot of money in an anamorphic lens for camera, there is this lens from Moment. The brand is Moment, and they do like anamorphic lens, like tiny lens for cell phones. So you need to buy the case from them and the lens. So you have to use the case, and then the lens goes attached to this case, and it's pretty fun. And also then you download the app, the Moment app, and they unsqueeze the image for you in the app. So you use the image like as a final. You don't need to put the image in like a video editor to unsqueeze the image. But at this video, we didn't use the cell phones one. No, just the anamorphic, like the survey anamorphic. Oh yeah, the Freewell one, I had one that they sent me, but it was to use in the Osmo Pocket. But it was not like really anamorphic. It was just something that looked anamorphic. Yeah, something like that. I don't remember very well, but yeah. So that was the Freewell one. But I prefer the Moment for cell phone. I think it's more fun. Okay, so another lens I used in some scenes of the video was the Helios lens, and this is the Helios 44M, and it's actually a 58 millimeters f2, and it's a vintage lens, and I think this is very old. I don't know like when it was produced. I think maybe they were doing this in the 80s. If someone knows, like just put in the chat. Um, yeah, but it's like a very old lens, but this one is a very good condition. We find like no mold, no scratches, like it's perfect condition. And this Helios, we like it because of the bokeh as well. So the bokeh is very distinctive because it's like gives you a swirly bokeh, and it's like very very stands out from the other lenses. So when you look at it, you know like, oh, this is like a Helios lens. And so like video makers love to use this because it also gives like that cinematic feel. The look of it is not like a very sharp lens. It gives like a more soft image. Um, if you guys watched not the last video, but the previous video I did about the shoot for the car brand, I talk about like that we use this lens for that shooting, and they end up saying it was like not very sharp, and they want more contrasty images. Yeah, so this gives you like a not sharp images. If you are looking for sharp images, don't go for this. This is like more soft, more vintage look. And it's very cheap lens. So if you happen to have a those camera gear fairs, like used camera gears, go there and try to find one that you can look and see if it's in good condition. And yeah, I think you're gonna have fun with this lens as well. We bought in those camera gear events, like those fairs that they sell used gear, and we find this one and another one, like both Helios. And yeah, we use it a lot for videos. Do you guys have any questions? Okay. So another lens that I use it like not so much, but I like to incorporate this lens It's the Sony 7200. It's kind of like a mini telelens, and I also love this lens because it's very small, like very compact and lightweight for a telelens. And this is also the Mark II, and the Mark One, it's bigger and heavier, and I love that they were able to do like one that is lighter and smaller. So my camera kit is like perfect, and I think it's the not compared to Fuji, maybe, but I think compared with Nikon and Canon, I think this is the latest that I could get. And yeah, so I like to incorporate some shoots with like tele lenses because I like the compression of the background and the separation that does with the subject, like the background with the subject. And tele lenses are perfect for that. So I like to do that sometimes and using some shoots. If you don't do it yet, try to do it because I think you're gonna like the images. And there is another one. This is like a Tamron lens and for Sony. And this actually, Diego won contest for Tamron for wildlife photography. So he won first place, and the prize, he could choose some of the lenses from some of the lenses. They give like a list of options of lenses that he could choose, and he chose the 2875. So this is the Tamron 2875 lens, and it was a range that we didn't have because you usually have like the wide angle lens, like the 1635, and then from the 1635 we go like to the tele lens 7200. But yeah, this is like kind of in the middle. So when you are not going with like too many lens options, you don't want to go out and carry like two lenses, three lenses. I think this is a good option because it has like this range from 28 to 75. So it's a perfect option. So 28 sometimes is wide enough for what you want to shoot, and 75 can give you like some of the compression background as well. So it's very versatile. So we are using a lot this lens. So I'm sharing this with Diego. So Bruno said this one will be my next purchase. Yeah, I think you're gonna love it. Bruno does a lot of hiking and trekkings, so it's perfect because you don't want to be carrying like a huge tele lens on your backpack when you were doing long hikes. So this one, yeah, I think it's gonna be perfect. And sometimes when we do like some long hikes, there is some like mountains and you need like a telelens, but you left your telelens at home because it was too heavy to carry, right? So yeah, I think this, and it's not heavy, and like the size not big at all. So perfect. Um, let's see. Anything else? Oh, I want to talk about the variable ND filters as well. So for shooting videos, I like to use those variable ND filters because we shoot at the shutter speed 1 to 50 and 24 frames per second. So we use that setup. And to be able to keep 1 to 50 in the shutter speed, you need to have this variable ND filter because sometimes there's too much light where you are, and 1 to 50 it's gonna be like just too slow. So yeah, your footage is not gonna be good. Too much light is gonna come in, and do you need an ND filter? So if you can get like any ND variable filter is better than not having it. I use this one is from KNF, And I think it's pretty good. Does the job. I'm pretty sure there's other ones uh, with more quality, the ones that are more expensive as well. But I think the cost benefit of the KNF accessories are pretty good. So yeah, all of them. We have one for the Helios. It's KNF as well, and for the oops for the anamorphic, we have one as well. It's KNF as well. Okay, do we have any more questions? Hugo is asking, do you think it's possible to take good photos with the kit lens, like landscape and nature photos? Yes, for photos, yeah, totally possible. Um, I think you need to maybe manage your expectations and know what to shoot to extract the best of that type of lens. Because usually the kit lens, it's I think the aperture sometimes is at 4, so you can't shoot at low light. Like when the sun sets, probably you're not gonna have like a very good image unless you crank the ISO up, right? So, but if you were shooting golden hour or midday, or even when it's cloudy, it's totally possible. So I think you just need to know when your equipment is not going to perform well. But it is possible, right? Because photography is actually about seeing things and composition and observing things, and not much about the gear. Because sometimes I'm pretty much sure you guys had this situation where you shot something that was really good with the cell phone, right? Not like maybe not like the quality, the sharpness, but the composition of the photo was amazing just with the cell phone. So you don't really need like a fancy gear. So I always like to stress that because I know camera gear it is expensive, right? But you don't necessarily need the most advanced gear, the most expensive gear. Yeah, I hope I replied your question. Let me know. Okay. Um, so for photos, I use the same, except like not the anamorphic, like for photos. Anamorphics we just use for videos. But the Helios we use for photos as well. And yeah, it can be like really fun to shoot photos with the Helios. Um, Mainly when you find like some background that is very interesting, and you have like a person for portraits. It's really good. If you guys like to shoot portraits or pet photography, you can use the Helios and take advantage of the swirly bokeh. And oh, I forgot one lens, but not much for video, but more for photography. It's like this was the lens I bought like last year to start shooting wildlife. So this is the Tamron 150 500, and yeah, pretty good lens. I won't say like it's the sharpest lens if you put this and compare with the Sony. Like Diego got a 260, 260, yeah, the Sony one, and it is super sharp. So it's the you can see the difference between the Sony and the Tamron. But for me, the size of the Sony is just too big for me. I would have to change my backpack because it wouldn't fit in my backpack. So this one fits in my backpack because it has like a zoom, like so zoomed in is like this size, and it's just this size. So it fits in my backpack, and I think it's pretty good. Like I think the loss of sharpness uh, it's okay for the for the advantage that it has. It's also way cheaper, way cheaper. than a Sony lens. Maybe in the future I'll get a Sony, but yeah, for now I'm pretty happy with the Tamron. Ugo is asking if this is a cape. Yeah, this is a cover. Yeah, lens cover. It's just like because we went to Vancouver Island in June, and we would go on a boat to photograph, and we were afraid that would rain. Although this doesn't seal, but I think it protects a little bit against like the elements. So yeah, you can that have a Velcro here, and you can like just put on it. And I think it was a good idea to have it because it didn't rain during the boat tour, but a lot of water, splash of water splashed on us and on our camera gear. So it was good that had this extra protection. Okay, what else, you guys? Let me know if you want to know more about any specific lens that I showed you or anything else. Any questions? Oh, any advice for people in photography, cinematography? I just bought an A6500. Oh, 6500 is excellent camera. Think if you want to do photography and video with that camera, it's killer camera because it can do both. It has the in-body stabilization, and we had this camera like some years ago, and it was like super nice camera and also small camera, so you can use like to vlog. Yeah, I think you have pretty great gear, and my advice would be more like maybe get more references of things you want to shoot, either for photography and cinematography. And for photography, just go out and shoot. I don't know what type of photography you do, but just like photograph a lot because you're gonna learn from your mistakes. And oh, one thing that I always said, like don't start buying a lot of lenses. Don't buy a lot of lenses. Like just use what you have because you're gonna feel when it's the right time to get a new lens. Like a lens that's not giving what you were looking for. So wait until that moment happens. So you don't spend money now in gear that maybe you're not gonna use or not gonna like in a few months. Hope that is helpful. I'm here seeing the chat. Rova said, "You look like Han from Stray Kids." I don't know what is Stray Kids. I'm gonna search. Let me search. What is Stray Kids? It's like a cartoon. Am I gonna like it when I'm gonna see? Oh, Stray Kids. It's a band. It is a band. No, I don't know. It's a band. Oh, okay. So I look like I look like a man. Okay. That's okay. He's a very handsome man. Um, okay. What else? Yeah, Yusuf. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Love your videos. Thank you. Thank you. Very happy you like my videos. Um, Ugo is also asking what ISO do you use for Northern Lights? Oh, it depends. Ugo. It depends what kind of night do you have. Sometimes you have moonlight. So if it's full moon, you can lower your ISO, and if it's like half moon, like crescent moon, like I don't know, sorry, I'm really bad in the moon phases. But if you have some moonlight, you can kind of lower the ISO. Um, but if you don't have any moon, any moonlight, or any other source of light, you have to use a higher ISO. I use in mine usually between 2500 and 3200. So usually is this range. And also depends on the brightness of the aurora, right? Because some auroras are too bright, and you need to reconfigure the settings on your camera so you don't get like that super like clipped clipped highlights on your images. Yeah. Hugo said, "Damn." Why did you say that? Because it's like too high, or which ISO are you using? Too high. Okay. But here's the thing. A lot of people are afraid of using a too high ISO, but don't be afraid because like the downside of using a higher ISO, it's the noise, right? Your image is going to be very noisy. But the denoise tools that we have today with the Lightroom denoise and with the Topaz denoise, it's like so good, and I'm saving a lot of my photos with those tools. So don't be like too worried about going like crazy on your ISO because sometimes it's better to have the image that not having, right? Because if it's too dark, there's nothing you can do. But if it's noisy, now you can remove the noise very efficiently in Lightroom or Topaz. Do you guys use Lightroom and or Topaz? What do you guys think about it? I use it all the time, and I think this is one of the reasons some platforms are flagging my content as AI generated because the denoise, I think it's considered kind of goes in the metadata as AI. And I post my photos on TikTok and it's flagging like AI content. Oh, Hugo said he uses but mobile. Yeah, I'm not sure. The mobile version has this feature yet because the desktop version has it, and it's really good. Okay, guys, do you have any more questions? If not, I think I will going to wrap up the live because yeah, this live was just like to be like a 30 minutes live just to talk about my gear and chat with you about gear and nerd out a little bit about it because I know a lot of people love talking about gear. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'll give you the last chance to send the question in the chat. Or if you just wanna say hi as well, just say hi. Yeah, last chance, guys. Okay, I think no one has any questions. So thank you so much for coming to the live. I hope you had enjoyed something, something have been useful to you. And I have one more live tomorrow. I'm still thinking about what I'm gonna talk about. If you have any suggestions, just send my way. Oh, Vinso just got here. Hi, Vinso. Thanks for showing up. And yeah, send me any suggestions over Instagram, or I think you can leave comments on the live afterwards. So yeah, just leave a comment there with something that uh, you might want to hear from me. And yeah, so thank you very much, guys, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.